What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the BBB Gaming News Channel. For all your unbiased gaming news, subscribe and turn on notifications. In today's video, we're going to be giving you an update on engine owning and whether or not they are still able to get into Warzone Caldera with their cheats. So, let's get into it. So as of today, we went over to the engine owning website to check on the status of their cheats. We actually checked this out in a recent video, and it was only the Modern Warfare and Warzone cheats that were in fact updating, but now it seems that the Vanguard cheats are also updating. The Los Angeles servers seem to be offline as well as of today. However, we do know, and we have some stuff to show you that proves that they are actually testing out their cheats since their new update. And there's been a lot of talk about this on social media as well, with people claiming that they've already bypassed the Ricochet Anti Cheat. And that being said, you might think, oh well, it hasn't rolled out worldwide, but they may well have people testing this in the Asia Pacific area. If that is true and they have bypassed it, then it is literally goodbye Call of Duty Warzone Caldera. Nobody will have any faith in their game. People will literally move away, especially with PUBG going free to play soon. That could literally deter people away from playing Warzone, giving them a much better Battle Royale experience. The image you can see here is the loading cheats menu for engine owning. Before you actually open the game, you load the cheats up this way through this menu. And as you can see on the left side in the little column there, you've got engine owning cheats for COD, Modern Warfare and Warzone. But just below that it says public test, engine owning for COD. This means that they are actually doing a public test to see whether or not their updated cheats are working in Warzone Caldera. So this means that they are actually taking steps to try and bypass the Ricochet Anti-Cheat at this point. Although they've already claimed in the past that they've bypassed it, they still appear to be doing little tweaks here and there. And maybe that's all it is, they're just doing little tweaks and testing certain things, especially after the recent news of thousands of accounts from engine owning actually being banned. And there was a big uncertainty in the Telegram, where all their members are, as to what was actually causing the detection and what was actually causing the bans. So I think that the update could be related to that as well. I actually went over to Twitter and tweeted about this situation, saying thousands have been banned who injected engine owning cheats, yet there is no update from Raven Software or Activision about this ban wave. I genuinely believe they will announce this once Ricochet is fully rolled out worldwide to make Ricochet seem as though it works. And that's a fair point. How many times have we seen a ban wave in relation to engine owning in the past? 60,000 here, 100,000 there. I think the biggest one may have actually been 200,000, but still, that was just accounts. And each user who is rage hacking has multiple accounts. So it's never actually that amount of people, it's only that amount of accounts. And yet, thousands of accounts have actually been banned recently, and there's been absolutely no announcement from Raven Software or Activision at this point about that ban wave. But engine owning seem to be doing their bit in working around that. And you may be wondering how they are actually doing these public tests. Well, it's not just a case of the public being allowed to test them. There are actually streamers who rage hack live on stream running these tests live on stream. Anybody remember Lomaz the Cheat on the video we put out on the BadBoyBeaman channel? No? Well, this guy right here is actually doing an engine owning test beta, as you can see from the description of his stream here, and you can actually see the 2D radar in the top left corner of his stream also. We've got some footage of it and we're going to show you what's going on with it now. In the footage that we're seeing now is actually Lomaz the Cheat using the engine owning cheats during this test situation where they're testing out publicly whether or not their new updates are in fact working, whether it's going to cause any bans along the way. And the reason they're doing that is obviously before they put it out publicly in the sense of to the majority of their customer base, they do public tests also. People running public tests, they'll be the ones who usually rage hack, the ones who aren't bothered about getting their accounts banned. You know, it's not the ones who usually hide the cheats by using soft aimbot settings or just walls to try and make out like they are god tier. They are not the people you will in fact find running these tests for engine owning. In fact, you'll probably find the people running the tests tend to get a little bit of a free sample, 30-day free trial maybe, or maybe they just get free keys to actually use the cheats whenever they feel like it. I would expect that Lomaz the Cheat on Facebook Gaming probably has this sort of situation, with the fact that maybe you know, he's promoting their cheats in ways, but they are essentially taking the mickey out of Activision and Ricochet Anti Cheat at this point, to the point where Lomas the Cheat in fact has a overlay for his stream which is mocking Activision. Let's show you that now. So in this part of the video, this is a part of his live stream, he actually notices that he's shadow banned because of his ping going up from 31 to 106. He decides to put out a permanent banned screen on his live stream, but this is definitely an overlay just by the way in which the text appears on it as well. So we'll pause it here and you can see there, connection failed, you've been permanently banned from playing the Call of Duty Warzone, right? But it actually has text here saying you can't touch this. This is an overlay. So people might be watching his stream thinking, we'll find out whether or not the Ricochet Anti-Cheat's working and they're going to get banned. Well, this is false. This is literally Lomas the Cheat screenshotted this image, edited some text onto it and uses it every time he gets a little shadow ban maybe, or uses it to troll the viewers or to troll the trolls in his chat. So at this point it just appears that Ricochet Anti-Cheat isn't working, and it appears that the engine owning updates do seem to be working. However, he did catch himself a shadow ban, so that could lead to a permaban. But again, he's rage hacking. Rage hackers have always called themselves permabans. If anybody remembers, as far back as It's Tapper, he used to get accounts permabanned on a regular basis and he would just rotate through them live on stream. It's how fast they are able to create a new account and get straight back on the game that determines whether or not their actual PC is hardware ID banned, and whether or not they are able to use any spoofers to manipulate their hardware ID to bypass any shadow bans or permabans. And you've got to look at the harsh truth of the matter as well. How long have engine owning been a known cheat provider for Call of Duty Warzone? Quite a while. And I know there are differences between this cheat provider and others that have been sent cease and desist orders. However, Activision should be doing everything within their power at this point to literally put a stop to all cheat providers, all cheat developers and all cheat sellers and resellers. But for some reason, when it comes to engine owning, it appears that they don't really do enough. Although they do seem to be sending cease and desist orders to these lower tier American-based cheat developers or cheat resellers and getting them to shut down shop, they don't seem to be doing that with engine owning. They should be able to do something. With the amount of money that Activision actually have, and with a game that has so much promise, if they can get rid of the cheats, they should be putting everything they've got behind combating these cheat developers. Unfortunately though, guys, it seems to be that engine owning continue to win this battle between game developer and cheat developer. But hopefully at some point Activision decide to pull their finger out and actually able to combat engine owning. I do believe if they are able to take down engine owning as a cheat seller and cheat provider for their games, that would put a lot of faith back in the game and the game developers from many of their fan base and many of their player base. But until Activision actually do something about engine owning and actually show to the player base that they're willing to do everything it takes to take down the top level cheat providers, I just don't think they'll have any sort of faith from any of their player base whatsoever. Even if they continue to cease and desist the smaller cheat providers, it's engine owning that people want to see gone. And the reason for that is because they are one of the most popular cheat providers for Call of Duty Warzone. If we find out any more in relation to engine owning or any other cheat providers and whether or not they've been able to bypass the Ricochet Anti-Cheat, or in fact whether or not the Ricochet Anti-Cheat gets rolled out worldwide or works, we'll be sure to keep you posted here on the BBB Gaming News Channel. So make sure you subscribe with notifications on. BBB, over and out.